In this video, I will show you all the configuration for the extended withholding tax in SAP S/4HANA. Before we start with the configuration, let me actually display a business partner to explain you what I mean by the extended withholding tax. So we go to transaction code BP, then we just search for a business partner, open it with a double click. Then we navigate to the role called FLVN00, Supplier Financial Accounting. Over here we go to the company code section and then to the tab called Vendor Withholding Tax. And over here we can define the withholding tax for our vendor so that later on, when we post an invoice or a payment, the withholding tax will be taken into account. So just for your information, here is a small example for you what the withholding tax means. So imagine you have a side job and you're supposed to be paid $100. But before your boss hands over the cash, $20 is taken from this $100 and sent directly to the government. So we only receive $80 in the end, meaning that the withholding tax means that the tax will be taken at the source, so where the money is actually being created and sent to the tax office. I hope this makes it clear. So now let's go into the configuration via /n SPRO, sub-reference IMG, then under Financial Accounting Global Settings, Withholding Tax. We could configure the normal withholding tax or the extended one. I will show you the latter one. You might ask yourself what is the difference between those two? Well, you can click here on the documentation for the withholding tax, and here we can see the difference. So either we have the standard withholding tax, offering withholding tax for accounts payable, the tax calculation during payment, and also the withholding tax per vendor line item. Whilst our extended withholding tax will provide those three features over here, and additionally, multiple withholding taxes per customer or vendor line item. So for both directions and even multiple ones. The withholding tax calculation for partial payments and also the calculation of withholding tax when creating the invoice and the payment, whilst over here it's just for the payment. Please be aware of this note over here. If you decide on extended withholding tax and activate this procedure, you must migrate your master and transactional data. You cannot return to the original withholding tax procedure afterwards, meaning that if we have a system where the normal withholding tax is already active and we want to activate the extended one, we need to migrate to the extended one. Now let's look here at the extended withholding tax. So we click on this one and then we have here the basic settings. Let's navigate into those. First of all, we need to check the withholding tax countries and regions. Let's click on this one. Here we can see the different countries and also region codes. We need to specify those combinations of withholding tax countries and regions, our withholding tax forms later on. And those IDs over here are actually prescribed by the law. So they could differ from what you see over here. This means that you must check your official government websites and take the codes from there and complement the information via new entries if necessary. So this is the first step. You must check whether the combination of country and region code is existing for your specific scenario. Let's go back. Next off, we have a step called Define Withholding Tax Keys. And here you can see there are already certain keys defined. But this is rather a special topic, so for now we will leave it as is. Then we have the Define Reasons for Exemption customizing. Let's click on this one. Here we need to choose a country or region. Let me just choose one where nothing is defined yet to show you the customizing. And over here, if we click on New Entries, we can state reasons for exemption from withholding tax. So meaning that those reasons we will later on insert in our business partner master. So let me quickly show this to you in the business partner. Here in the business partner in the vendor withholding tax section, we have a column called exemption reason. And whatever code we insert in customizing, we can choose later on over here. Let's go back to the customizing. So over here, we will just define one exemption reason. Let's just call it exemption by law and then save. Let's go back again. And next off, we go to the check recipient types customizing. Let's click on this one and let's choose a country. Let's say US, just to show it to you. And those recipient types categorize our vendor, which is necessary for printing the withholding tax form in certain countries, such as the US or in Spain. You can see the recipient type also in the business partner. Let me quickly show it to you. So back in our business partner, over here we have the recipient type. And whatever we insert in the customizing, we can choose later on over here, depending on the company code we utilize and which is also linked to the country. Okay, for now we'll go back and go to check income types. This is only utilized in Spain. So over here for Spain, you can see different income types. Those are in the end revenue types for the withholding tax reporting in Spain. And we use them to classify our suppliers, they may be foreign or even local, by revenue. And this will then be shown in the withholding tax report. For now, we leave it as is and go back. The next off you can see change message control for withholding tax. Let's click on this one. Over here we can actually define what the system should show when inserting, for instance, our transactional data during the invoice or the payment posting. So as you can see, this message is already defined over here. Vendor and will be then supplemented by the number is subject to withholding tax in case that we inserted withholding tax information in the vendor master. Then we can see over here online and batch. So this is for normal manual input. Actually, it's set now to a note in the footer and for batch as well. So there will be a message. Also, it makes sense over here to create 2 new entries, 336 and also 339. You will see this in a second. And I will set them to an information message as well as this one to a warning message and hit on enter. Here you can see now 2 new messages. One is called vendor is exempt from withholding tax. So in case we have an exemption, this will be displayed then during our document entry. And on the other hand, here we can see that the withholding tax exemption for this vendor will expire. And this is set to a warning message. So thereby we know that maybe after this exemption period will terminate soon. And afterwards, the withholding tax will be posted again. Here we click on save and that's it. Let's go back again. Then we have here some specific settings for India, Ireland, Qatar and South Korea. We will leave them for now. Minimize the basic settings and we go to the calculation. Over here we can now click on withholding tax type and then we can see that we can define our withholding tax type. Let's click on this one. Let's do it for a country where nothing is defined yet. Click on new entries. And over here we now define the withholding tax type for the posting at the time of the invoice entry. Please be aware that this withholding tax type will not have any effect on our payment. Also, all of our extended withholding tax calculations will be first made in our local currency of our company code. We will now just define one over here. We'll just call it income tax. Then we have here the calculation. So should it be the net amount or the gross amount upon which the withholding tax should be calculated. Then we have here our rounding rule. In case we have some values to be rounded, we want to post the withholding tax amount, of course. Here we can say that we want, for instance, an accumulation per calendar year. Then we have some control settings and we have the minimum and maximum amounts, which could be either on the tax code level or at the withholding tax type level. We will set the latter one for now and then save. Then go back. And next off, we can do the same also here for the payment posting. Here you can see some are already defined. So we can double click on them and then provide our information if necessary. We will just copy those over here because we need them later on. Then we could define exchange rates if necessary for our different withholding taxes we created before. As you can see, this counts for both the ones applicable at payment as well as at invoice. And over here we could insert an exchange rate type. For now we leave it as is. Then we can define rounding rules for a combination of our company code and withholding tax and currency. So those 3 are here input parameters, and then we can set over here the unit. So round to 1 or round to 10 and so on. Let's go back. Next off, we could even assign a condition type to our withholding tax type. So over here you can see again the withholding tax types that we created, and over here we could assign a condition type. This condition type is used for different functions. So for instance, in pricing, the condition type would let us differentiate between different kinds of discounts and so on and so forth. This is rather a special topic, so we leave it for now. Next off, we can close here the withholding tax type and go to the withholding tax code. Over here we can define the different withholding tax codes. And as you can see here, 2 or even more withholding tax codes are assigned to one and the same withholding tax type. So with the withholding tax code, we can define the different percentages of withholding tax. Let's just take this example over here. This is for business partners in the same country. Double click. And over here we can see how the withholding tax will be calculated. So 100% of the base amount is subject to the tax and the withholding tax rate is 15. There is also this posting indicator which is mandatory. And here we can see standard postings, so the bank vendor customer line item is reduced. Or we could even insert here offsetting entry to a GL account grossing up, or an offsetting entry to a GL account without grossing up. For now, we'll leave it as is. Let's go back. We could even define formulas for calculating our withholding tax, but this is also an advanced topic. Let's close this view. Go to the next one, withholding tax base amount. Over here, you can see define processing keys for modified net amount. So we can use this over here. Let's just insert our country, and via new entries, we could enter our withholding tax type that we created before. And then over here, the so-called process. So in this activity, we could define the transaction keys for calculating the modified net amount. Modified would mean that an extra amount is added to our net amount. And this extra amount is determined by using one or more of those transaction keys we define over here, which is then used by the system to determine our posting keys for the line items which are created automatically. But this is also rather an advanced topic. We'll go back. The same we could also do for the modified tax amount. And also we can maintain dependencies between withholding tax types. So this is also a special topic where, for instance, let's just go to US because there are some things maintained. We assign our withholding tax type to a so-called number of withholding tax types. So by numbering our withholding tax types, we can have withholding tax calculation in a so-called partial sequence. So this may be important if certain dependencies exist between the different withholding tax types. Because in some countries, the withholding tax base amount of one type, so this one for instance, is derived from the withholding tax amount of another type. So this one, for instance. But this only counts for two countries, which are Colombia and Korea. Let me actually show this to you. So we go to Colombia. Over here you can also see withholding tax types and withholding tax type numbers. And if we double click here on one of the entries, then we can see here there is the dependency. So in this case, withholding tax type 5 depends on number 1. Number 1 is this one over here. Okay, let's go back, close this and go to the minimum and maximum amounts. We can click on this one for the tax types, insert our country, and then via new entries for the different withholding tax types, we could set minimum withholding tax amounts as well as maximum ones. So meaning that we could restrict the posting of withholding tax. So for instance, we could say that the minimum amount must be like 10 euros and everything below 10 euros is not posted. And also for the minimum base amount. Go back. And that's it. The same could also be done for the withholding tax codes. Now there are some more settings for specific countries. We won't go into detail for them as of now. And next off we come to the company code section. So here we click on new entries, provide our company code, then the withholding tax type, as well as the setting withholding tax agent so that it's applicable for the vendor side, and then validity period, like that. We can also make it applicable for the customer side if necessary. For now, we leave it as is. We will save, and we will do the same also for the invoice side because this entry here is for the payment already. And as you remember, we created WT and here we will save it as well. Okay, let's go back. We can also do the same here for withholding tax for gross up offsetting entry and so on and so forth. But I will show you the normal methods. So we click on this one, provide the chart of accounts, and then we need to provide a debit and a credit account for a combination of our withholding tax type. So let's actually display here the search help. For Germany, you remember IN and WT. Those are the ones necessary as an example. And then here we have the so-called account modification indicator. And this is just another name for the withholding tax code. So you might remember we assigned the withholding tax types to the withholding tax codes in the other customizing step. Let me quickly show it to you. So you might remember this customizing here where we assigned our withholding tax codes to the withholding tax types. And this is exactly what we're doing over here as well. However, this time also in combination with our GL account that should be posted to. So right now we will take this combination over here. We will hit on new entries, provide those entries, and then we need a debit and credit account. We will take the same one as we have seen from the other examples. So this one over here, and then save. That's it. Now we can go back. We could also set here the accounts for the other methods. For now we leave it as is. Please be aware that over here we also have a reporting section. So if necessary, we can define our forms for the withholding tax if applicable to your country. Okay, this marks the end of the customizing. Now let's see this in action. We will start by creating a new business partner via /NBP. Click on organization, provide some dummy data like that. That's fine for now. We will save. We will go into the company code data via more. Then we provide a reconciliation account. Also, we will provide here in the payment transactions our terms of payment, this one over here. Further down, also the payment method. That's basically it. Then we will go to vendor withholding. And over here, we can now fill the information. Let me just scroll down a bit. The withholding tax type. We will take our own one as an example. Then the withholding tax code. Then we will say that this vendor is subject to withholding tax. Then we have a withholding tax ID, which is a free text field. And now it's quite unhandy over here. We need to scroll down a bit and then to the right and then up again. We can include here also the exemption number and exemption in percent. Then, quite importantly, we could state over here whether this supplier has a certain exemption period or not. We will say that the exemption period was from the 1st of January till the 3rd of January. So it's over actually. Then we provide an exemption reason. That's it. Let's scroll further to the right to see if there are any other columns, but that's basically it, as you can see. So we can actually click on save. We can see the date interval is in the past. If we want to display this message again, no. So all is fine, we can save. Now we will go here to the vendor general data, take the number of the vendor because it could deviate from the business partner. And next off, we will create an invoice via /n FB60. So this is our supplier, invoicing and posting date, then an amount and a reference. And here you can see already information withholding tax exemption expired. So the system will post the withholding tax. This is fine for us. We will click on enter. Then we will provide here an expense account as well as an amount. Here, of course, we will now say calculate the tax. We need a tax code. That's fine. So all looks good. We will take the same tax code over here. Balance is green. So we can now simulate the entry. As you can see, we now get the error message that this account does not exist in our company code. This is exactly the account that is triggered for the withholding tax. So we go to /o f SS0. Then we search for this account. We want it to be created in company code 1010. We select with template, insert the same account, and the company code 1710 so that it's copied from this one. By the way, I have a whole video about copying GL accounts manually and also automatically. I will leave you the link in the description of this one. So make sure to check it out afterwards. We will hit here on continue and save. Now we'll go back to our FP60, hit on enter again, and now we can simulate. And as you can see, the system would now actually post the withholding tax to this specific account. However, what we can also do is we can go back to the business partner via /OBP, search by supplier number, insert the number. This is our business partner. If we now go to company code and into the vendor withholding tax, we could also state over here that the exemption period is up until, let's say, the 5th, and then remove here the subject to withholding tax and save. Now we go back to /OFP60. We will start again over here with our supplier, invoicing date, reference, amount, tax calculation, our tax type. Here we provide the same information again, like that. Just provide a cost assignment. And if we now go to the simulate function, we can see that the system will not consider the withholding tax anymore. Okay, this marks the end of the video. I hope you liked it. It took a lot of effort, so I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Also make sure to subscribe to my Patreon, where we have a community chat and where I post lots of informative blog posts about SAP. The link is in the bio of my channel. Thanks a lot and see you next time.